BJJ black belt, torn shoulder, torn pec minor, fixed in 12 weeks. Previously, he'd been running from this injury, running from these issues for years, and they never got any better. He tried rest, he tried painkillers, he tried anti-inflammatories, he tried sports massage, acupuncture, and he was on the verge of spending thousands to basically sort these issues out. This is the full process that I took him through in 12 weeks on my program. I'm going to share absolutely everything I can with you, how I think, how I problem solve, and I just want you to take as much away from this video as possible, right? You're going to get absolutely everything. He paid for it, you're getting it for free. For those new to the channel, welcome. My name's Paul Green, I'm a purple belt, 7 years of grappling experience, former British paratrooper, special forces support group operator, left the army 18 months ago, and now I get men out of these very dark places. Different injuries, don't really care. I apply the same process to whatever joint it is in the body. I've done this in the army with thousands of soldiers, and I've now done it with hundreds of grapplers. Right? This video, what I'm going to be covering today is, once I've got that fucking stupid purple thing off, there we go. The setup, how I set things up for success to ensure maximum results in the shortest possible time frame. Very important. Execution and hurdles we face. Management. With the hurdles as well, I'm also going to talk about how I actually solve those problems. Because there's always going to be hurdles. We're humans. We have families, we have kids, we have holidays, we get ill. All of these things I'm going to package into this video. I'm literally going to give you absolutely everything I can. Everything that I remember. Okay. The first and foremost, and I talk about this being the most important thing, is the mindset reality of the situation, right? This is a very logical process. It's why I'm pretty much very close to being able to offer a guarantee, right? The system works if you do it. It's as simple as that. We use data and numbers as our foundation, and evidence of progress is crystal clear. If you are a man that is repulsed by using numbers and logic to benefit areas of your life that are in a really bad place at the moment, you are thinking with your emotions. And what I talk about regularly on this channel as this being is you are giving into that survival part of your brain. That part of your brain that goes, I don't want to improve, I can't improve, I just want comfort. I don't want any discomfort of my injured area. In order to get rid of an injury, you need to think logically. You can't just bury your head in the sand and wait for surgery to sort you out. Because the pattern that got you injured, surgery won't fix. If you have resistance to logical thinking, this is not a physical problem. It's a character problem. Okay, the setup, right? As you can see, we take things very seriously, right? I want to see pictures. I want to see pictures of him front, side and rear for two reasons. I just want to see if there's any noticeable discrepancies on his shoulders, right? Brutal shoulder injury, brutal tear in his pec. I just want to see if there's any, any weirdness going on, noticeable weirdness, right? I want to see his weight and I want to check his body fat percentage. The reason I need to see his weight and his body fat percentage is I need to know how much food he needs to eat to perform to a high standard on the mat and in the weights room. I need to know exactly how much he is currently doing jiu-jitsu, right? And I basically use that information to guide my training programming for him, right? The gym he can consistently train at. This may be a public gym, a leisure centre, or it might be a home gym, like a lot of my clients. I need to see what kit he has available in order to train, so I can select him the best possible exercises for the kit and equipment that he has available to it. This was what we were working with. Dumbbells, barbell squat rack, pull-up bar, bench, some kettlebells, exercise ball, pretty standard home gym type of stuff, right? And that is my foundation for this program. Also, because this is a longevity program and we take things extremely seriously, I get my blokes to do a shoulder functions test, which is I get them to send video, I'll show you in a sec, of each function of the shoulder. They just literally move, selfie camera on, press record, and they move their shoulder through different ranges. And they also mention symptoms over the top, pain ratings out of 10. So if they basically go like this, and they point to where the pain comes on and say it's 6 out of 10 pain when I'm at the top, that's a very important information from me, because that can guide my programming. Also, that is the functions test, which I want to mainly range of motion and pain symptoms. This is a strength reading, a force plate reading, right? And I'm going to get into this extremely shortly. So, I'll go straight into the functions test. I'll just rattle off this ever so quickly so you can just see a little bit of an overview. I want to see them moving circles forwards, circles backwards. Then we go into flexion. And again, after each one, I want them to stop, or during them doing these movements, I want them to point to where on their shoulder hurts. Important information for me as guide to their as guiding their coaching. You get the idea? We go through all the different various movements of the shoulder. Extension, side shoulder raises, external rotation. Right? So, Will sends me that before he does 1 day of training with me. Again, this is crucial information because his priority is his shoulder. If his priority is his shoulder, that is the area in which he needs to do more training than any other part of his training week. Hopefully that makes sense, right? To pair that up, this is range of motion and symptoms. I need to test his strength. And the way we do that, shoulder injuries, is because we tested our strength. They didn't test their strength with resistance bands. They didn't test their strength with random stretches. They tested their strength with numbers. Take the set of skills, push into them with your arm externally and internally rotated for an effort of 3 seconds maximum. Write down the numbers of both arms. If there's a big gap in those numbers, that's your problem. The imbalance is why your shoulder keeps giving you grief. As you can clearly see, his right arm is half of the strength of his left arm, on both internal and external rotation. So that is very, very important information for me, right? If you like this shit, subscribe to the channel. I want to build your confidence in training your joints, because too many men are running from their issues and not having the confidence to train their issues, so they no longer give them grief. So, after I've got that information, I have everything I need to set up his whole program, his whole meal plan, and his supplement plan, right? So I go away at that point and build everything out. This protocol is the exact protocol we followed, and it's had that much success in 2025, like that Instagram video said. I've literally just created it, and I'm giving it away to all you guys so you can fix yourselves. I don't want to have to fix people's joints and injuries. I don't want to do it, right? I want to make people extremely high performers. If I can do something as simple as this and give you it for free, and you can fix yourself, then friggin' hell, use a stick on the mat. Everybody's doing jiu-jitsu. Less people are injured on the mat. Happy days. As you can see, there's an overview explanation of the whole document there, and all of these are links. Make sure you save the document, look at the videos. You can see the videos, me moving through the motions, and you've got 30-second holds, 3 to 5 sets. Progress through white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt. Listen, physios and physical therapists are probably charging £200 for this. I'm giving you it for free because I give a shit. So I present back to him that which will be integrated in his app. So he'll look at his phone, he'll go to his workouts, and he will see shoulder rehab, and he'll have daily rehab there, and it'll have the exercises in which that document has. Also, this is one of my own thought processes. Basically, me as a coach, to get maximum impact on their results in the shortest possible time frame, I do something, and it's a principle I personally follow. It's zoom in, then zoom out. This issue had a brutal effect on his quality of life. Ability to make coffee, ability to make food in the kitchen, reaching for higher cupboards, playing with his children, all of these things, and affecting his ability to sleep as well. So I need to give him so much attention for that initial few weeks, and I call this zooming in. Zoom in on the exact point of the injury and literally train that more than anything else. When the pain's gone, depends on severity, then we zoom out and we really look at the zooming out. And what I mean by zooming out is we focus more on the other joints. It's not just shoulder rehab. You go to a physio, they will give you shoulder rehab and it'll be boring after a couple of weeks. Zoom in, then zoom out, then focus on the rest of the joints. Most people that do jiu-jitsu don't do any strength training and they wonder why their bodies are fucked. So as you can see, he's got 5 exercises in a session. First one's a superset, second one's a superset, and he's got a little bit of biceps as well to help with the health of his elbows. That is about a 30-minute session. Like I said earlier on, he's really busy, time pressure, busy family life. These sessions need to be short, impactful, get in the gym, get out the gym, get the results. Thank you very much. Lower body session, obviously, we need to train the knees as well. This is a bit of a longer session, takes about an hour. Again, important. Jiu-jitsu knees are in absolutely terrible shape, right? And then he had a second upper body session. So with this, we're building his armour on his back. So a lot of trap work. And then we go into some more supersets, the gold standard meal plan, where we utilise whole foods, making sure you can perform to a great standard in the gym and a great standard on the mats as well. So it's not just about the shoulder injury. It's a full system, a holistic, for lack of a better weird science word, right? And we'll talk more about the problems with this. He actually struggled with this amount of food, and which caused a little bit of a problem at the start. I actually recommended him some supplements. I spoke to a nutritionist and give him some supplement recommendations, and I give him the links to buy them all. Basically just making it as easy as possible, taking all thinking from it. Fish oils, basically the way I word that is take it as normal, 2,000 to 3,000. However, if he had a flare up and it was in pain, he basically doubles the dosage of the fish oils. Magnesium citrate, vitamin D, collagen and vitamin C. Collagen is a little bit of a hidden gem. Not many people take it. Basically, collagen helps with ligaments, tendons, and whereas protein helps with muscles. So it's important to tick both boxes. Slippery elm was to help with, he had acid reflux and he struggled to digest the food. He was really struggling with gas and bloating and all that stuff. And I need him, as his coach, to eat the food to get the best possible results. So the fact that he couldn't eat it to get the best possible results, I had to bring in a high-level nutritionist to give me some advice on this. So he got that recommendation and he took it and didn't have acid reflux anymore. He was able to eat the food. He was able to benefit from the training. Right? A lot of information. I'm giving you literally my heart and soul, how I solve problems with clients, justifications. With the exercises, they're the best exercises to do. You know, I look at a lot of research papers. I'm not stupid. I know the best exercises to strengthen the joints, strengthen the functions of the shoulder. So we do them. We don't waste any time doing stuff that doesn't move the needle, right? So when you go and grab that document to fix your shoulders, you know that if you do it, the amount of times that I'm saying to do it in a week, your shoulders will be fixed. However, you need to have one eye on your meal plan. You have one eye on supplements and one eye on your sleep as well. So you need about 4 eyes all crossed in weird directions. Okay, I've talked about the acid reflux being a problem at the start. So what I did is I went back to his meal plan and changed it to make sure he had foods that were easier to digest. I also made the recommendations that he could, if he wanted to, make the oats and berries and stuff into smoothies. Because again, smoothies are already being blasted by the blades of the smoothie maker. Again, easy to digest. He struggles sitting there and eating and he starts to feel it in his stomach and stuff like that. So I was like, I need to solve this problem. Smoothies were a great, quick solution for him. Because ultimately, I need him to eat the food. I need him to benefit maximally from this training. I don't want this issue to drag out any longer than it needs to. Get him back on the mats feeling amazing as fast as possible, right? It's brutal, busy in family life, brutal work and family life. How I solved that was, like I mentioned on the workouts there, making sure he is doing the best exercises to improve the strength that I'm actually targeting in that session. So if it's legs, he's doing the best leg exercises. If he's doing upper body, he's doing the best upper body exercise, not wasting any time. And the time constraints of the sessions as well. Like you've seen there, the upper body sessions were trimmed down nice and lean to about 30-minute sessions, and the lower body sessions were a little bit longer, and that worked pretty well. And the rehab sessions, about 20 minutes. So, zoom in, then we start to zoom out. The shoulder was the priority for the first part of the program. This was having the greatest negative impact on his quality of life. Once we got the pain down on that, on his second shoulder functions test, we zoomed out to the second issue in this case, which was his pec minor. Right? Pec minor pain usually starts to come on when he's in that type of Americana position, when his elbow's back and he's getting that stretch in his chest. So we had to focus on end range, these positions, isometric work to build that strength, and then we close the range of motion, and then bring him back into weight training with like pec flies, but with pec flies with slow eccentrics, or pec flies with just holding that bottom position for 30 to 45 seconds with dumbbells. Shoulder first, pec afterwards. As any bloke, illness, injuries, infections, life does get in the way, right? And just need to have the ability just to calm things down when craziness starts to come through the door. He had an illness and he ended up having an infection, and luckily that was a deload week for him. And I just said, mate, look, chill, hold your horses, son, just relax this week. And what I usually do with a deload week is I just calm the training down a little. I just take the edge off it, because when we're training hard. Even though you're injured, you're training hard. You know, high intensity, perfect technique, and a good level of control through every single repetition. He got ill on a deload week, so I was like, cool, make sure you half the session, half your volume in the gym and half your intensity in the gym, and still go out for some walks and that with the kids just to get the blood pumping. He had a holiday. Everybody has holidays. Everybody has interruptions. What did we do? He sent me a video when he arrived to his holiday with the gym. And I just basically wrote him a new holiday plan for the next 2 weeks. So he could stay on plan with his rehab, stay on plan with his upper body training and his lower body training while he was on holiday. So any issues, I solve. It's literally my way of just making it as easy as possible. So we're going to go on to the management and oversight piece now. So one thing I do with the guys to make sure they're very well supported is I give them unlimited movement analysis, because to get somebody to train an injury that has never trained an injured area before in their lives, they need a lot of support through this process. And one of the ways I can offer that support is by saying, send me videos, one set of every exercise that you do in the gym, and I will review it like a video like this, and I will give you feedback on how intense you're training, how good your technique is, just to make sure you're getting the best bang for buck and you're actually, working me to the bone. Right? We had daily check-ins, weekly check-ins. We retest the shoulder functions test and the strength test every 4 weeks, and then it's WhatsApp support. Daily check-ins. Every day he has to spend 20 seconds out of his life just recording how much sleep he got, what he weighs, how his energy levels are, and has he eaten his meals. Any info if he hasn't at his meals. Has he done a training session? Was it a gym session? Was it BJJ? And straight back in after the holidays and felt good for it. Do you know what I mean? Every day, 20 seconds. Just so I can have a quick look, see how he's getting on. On the weekly, what was my biggest win this week? Getting through all the sessions. Check his weight again. How's he feeling physically and mentally? Feeling good. Couple of data points here. Appetite, muscle soreness, stress level, organisation, sleep quality and motivation. How was your training this week? Managed to fit all the training sessions in. Managed BJJ training with no real post-training pain. That's on week 2. Struggling with the fullness, the acid reflux, talked about it. I solved the issue by hiring a nutritionist for his plan. That's the management and oversight. So, just to wrap this up, you now have the exact process from start to finish. You even have the protocol that we used to fix his shoulder in the description. You know how to set yourself up correctly. We're using data as a foundation. Measure your shoulder function, use a video. Measure your shoulder strength, use your scales. You know how I execute, how I execute and solve problems to get these results from a coaching point of view. Use them to sort your own issues out. Like an expert, I do this for a living, do this every day, absolutely fucking love it. And you know how to manage yourself to success. Specifically management. Let's reframe this. So you're more than capable of taking videos of yourself in the gym and looking at your technique and saying, could I control myself a little bit better there? Am I training to a hard intensity? Do you know what I mean? So you can manage your own training. Is this, right? Do the shoulder functions test every 4 weeks. Make sure you double that up with symptoms, pain ratings on a scale of 1 to 10. Because if in 4 weeks' time your pain goes from a 7 out of 10 to a 4, you have clear progress, like undeniable progress, which is unbelievable for motivation, right? I think I'm done. Any more questions, drop them in the comments below. I've tried to give you as much as I can. That's what I do on this channel. I'm not gatekeeping any information. You now have the path laid out in front of you, exactly like one of my one-to-one clients would have. All you have to do is walk it and get the results. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.